Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
On this Monday, a programming note before we get into the details. I'm with you for the next 2 hours. That's great news. So that means that we have plenty of time to chat with each other. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me live right now, 800-848-9222. His name is Nick Shirley, and I'm sure you've heard it by now, the independent journalist, and his video has gone viral, exposing up to $9 billion with a B in Minnesota fraud. This as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar faces mounting questions on her sudden wealth, that is. And as we speak, the Department of Homeland Security has been engaging all day long in door-to-door searches for illegal immigrants, migrants, illegal, whatever term you want to use, at these accused fraud sites in Minneapolis. $9 billion in terms of stolen, widespread social services scam, predominantly orchestrated by members of the state's Somali community. And you know what, folks? You know when you got Democrats against the rope. Here's how you know when you got them against the ropes. They start playing the race card. That's when you know you got them. They don't have to be black. They can be white. They can be Asian. They can be Latino. But when they start with the race card, got them. And that's exactly what's happening with the governor of Minnesota, Governor Dum Dum, and that's now more than ever Governor Dum Dum, accusing Nick Shirley and anyone like him as being racist. Nick Shirley appeared on Fox, responding in a wonderful way.
Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to expose this, you're doing it because you're white supremacists. What is your response to him?
Yeah, Tim wants votes. There are entire apartment complexes where white people have been pushed out of these apartment complexes because Somalians have taken over and they're inside of these towns like Minneapolis where they can go get votes from these people. And if you have 100,000 people that will vote for you because you're going to enable and let this stuff happen, and because you're going to call a white person racist for calling out facts, this is what's going to happen to a state like Minnesota. Minnesotans, they say Minnesota nice, but they are very upset. And I totally understand why they're upset, because they don't have a governor who's actually working for them. He's actually working against them.
And certainly it appears that's the case. And think about this. This guy was actually on the ticket for number 2 for the Democrats. 800-848-9222. Momentarily, we're about to begin with your telephone calls. So I'm sure as well you know by now that the video from Nick Shirley, independent, fairly young, independent journalist, it's about 40 minutes, give or take. And here's the first minute and a half setting up exactly what is going on in the great state of Minnesota.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked.
To be prepared to be shocked, and indeed the country is. From Governor Dum Dum, we all know what time it is. He looked the other way for votes. And these pirates stole everything that they could. Everything that they could with the backing of elected officials looking the other way. And you talk about elected officials looking the other way, Ilhan Omar, right? I want you to listen carefully to this, because all of that confidence that she had in her voice, it seems to be gone. And if you listen carefully, it seems like Ilhan Omar knows that her fate is about to be decided.
I mean, I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want.
So your kids are grown, you're grown, but with that confidence, can you go live what you want if the feds sees that $30 million you're worth? Now, folks, you and I both know she's probably moved half that money out the country, if not all of it. If not all of it, knowing what's coming her way. 800-848-9222. We're about to start with your calls, but guess what, folks? It's not just the Somalian community in Minnesota. It's also the Somalian community in other states like Ohio, according to this attorney. Listen to what she has to say.
But what happens in a few weeks if things sputter? What are you prepared to do?
They keep fighting, and they keep...
It's soundbite number 18.
So these individuals tried to report the fraud that was happening in Ohio, and then eventually came to me to say that we're watching providers rubber stamp paperwork for home health. So in Ohio, and there's many states like this, Pennsylvania and other states too, where you can go in and you can say my aging parent needs a home health care and I want to provide it. So the state will, as long as the doctor has approved it, continue to pay you. It could be for 10 hours, 12 hours, up to 24 when it's critical care. So you could sit at home without caring for an elderly parent who really doesn't need it, make about $75,000 to $90,000 a year. Now you add two parents, that's $180,000. Now you add your in-laws, $250,000. You continue to add this, and you wonder, what are the services being provided? So a lot of providers came and said, fraud is occurring because we said we weren't going to rubber stamp this paperwork, so they went to other providers. Their home health care network saying, we'll make it worth your while. Well, sounds like a kickback to me. So we really need to investigate the Medicaid system and how much it's increased since the Somalian population came, and who really needs critical care, because that's meant for our disabled, our elderly, and people who really need it, not to just live off our system. And that's what's happening in Ohio. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's despicable. But authorities are now looking at it from the Attorney General's office to the U.S. Attorney's office. I flagged them all because this is Ohio tax dollars, and we have to take it seriously. I'm tired of people telling me, well, this is the way it's always been. It's subjective, and we can't really check. No, you can. Audit America, audit Ohio now, and I'm pushing for that in every single state.
Very, very interesting. The plot thickens. Let's begin with Donna Marie, the lovely Donna Marie in Philly, line 4. Donna Marie, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, thanks for this opportunity, as always. You know, I'm very grateful to know that fraud is being found, but I think we all want to be even more grateful that somebody is going to be held responsible and accountable. It has happened. I believe too many people have turned a blind eye at various levels, at the federal and state levels, and it has to stop. And we need to know people are going to be held responsible. Thank you.
Well, you raise are you still there, Donna Marie?
Sure am.
Okay, you raise a wonderful point, and the feds have been indicting and getting convictions in some cases. But, you know, when you consider the magnitude of the money,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I say deport them all. Because you came here, you're ungrateful. Every time you get checked, you start talking in your native language. You think we're stupid. You start raising your voice. You start claiming racism against black people, and you're not even American black. I mean, what racism have you faced? You came here, you pimped the welfare system, and you got the nerve. You've got the audacity to do what you're doing. And there's no way you can tell me, Donna Marie, that the lovely congresswoman, that she didn't know what was going on. Of course she knew. Of course she knew. What do you think?
I think her fellow congresspeople knew a little bit what was going on. And this was so easily done. Can you imagine all the other states that this is going on? I mean, as you said, the magnitude of where this is occurring, we wouldn't have a deficit if we took care of this one problem.
Absolutely. But Donna Marie, before I let you go, it's a slap at our intelligence. You open up daycare storefronts with no kids in them. You open up ambulate car services to get people that are physically challenged or elderly to their doctor's appointments, and you're not transporting anyone. I mean, it's an absolute slap
Dominic,
in the face.
It's the price of freedom. It's the price of trust. We're very trusting people in America. I think we got a wake up call. I really do.
Well, you know what, Donna Marie, I think you're correct, and thank you for the comment. And Donna Marie was the first person this morning to flag to me Nick Shirley. I was aware of what was going on, but Donna Marie flagged it, and thank you for doing so. Thank you so much for your lovely call. Let's go to here. Let's go to Joe, line 3, Orange County. What's on your mind, Joe?
Hey, Dominic, I know you spoke about this a little bit in the past, but I just want to know your take on the Curtis Sliwa situation, and, you know, do you think he'll ever be back with you guys on 770, or, you know, what your thoughts are on this?
Well, I'm not Mr. Katsimatidis, the owner of the network of the station. I'm not Mrs. Katsimatidis, the owner of the network of the station. That's a question that's above my pay grade. I can only tell you what Mr. Katsimatidis has said in the past, that the person you referenced, that he's welcome to come back. That's the last public comment that I heard. I do got to be honest with you, Joe. It makes me wonder, because all of a sudden that person's name is not being talked about at all in any regard. And it makes me wonder if the call is a plant call to get his name, and I'm not going to say his name. I wish him all the success in the world. I don't know what's going on in that situation. All I can tell you is I'm terribly unhappy with the way that he's treated me, and no one, and I really shouldn't even go this far, no one is responsible for my career outside of Margot Katsimatidis and John Katsimatidis. And they told me up front, so what was said, and I really am saying too much, what was said a week ago was absolutely delusional. Absolutely delusional. That person was told to his face in front of me that he had nothing to do with hiring me. In fact, he hindered me for a number of years. and then went on the air talking about this boot camp nonsense that I knew nothing about. And I am going to shut up now. I've got to exercise some discipline. But to say responsible for my career, hindered my career for 10 years because didn't want the competition. That's the truth. Anyway, enough with that, Joe. Thank you for the call. Let's see here. I'm late for a break, so we're going to do exactly that. We're going to take a break. And again, I'm with you folks for the next hour and a half, the next hour and 45 minutes. We are coming right back.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's Dominic Carter. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to your telephone calls in just a moment. President Trump believing that he can get the deal done on ending the war with Ukraine and Russia. I believe that the president will deliver and get this done. He was asked following his meeting with Zelensky and telephone call with Putin, what happens if things don't improve? What is he prepared to do next?
But what happens in a few weeks if things sputter? What are you prepared to do?
They keep fighting, and they keep dying. No good. But if things don't happen, they keep fighting, and they keep dying. And we don't want that to happen. He doesn't want it to happen. President Putin doesn't want it to happen either.
And President Trump even raising the possibility, if it means bringing the war to an end, though saying he doesn't believe it's necessary, of traveling himself to Ukraine.
You know, I have no problem with doing it. We don't anticipate it. Would like to get the deal done and not necessarily have to go. I've offered to go and speak to their parliament. And, if that would help, I don't know if that would help. I think it would probably help, but I don't even know if that's...
You're welcome.
I know.
Always.
So I'm not sure that it would be really necessary, but if it would help save 25,000 lives a month or whatever it may be, I would certainly be willing to do that.
And that's called a leader, a world leader on the world stage. Bill in Georgia, line 5. Bill, what's on your mind?
Nick, how are you?
I'm good. Go right ahead, please.
All right. I follow Nick Shirley, and he came out with this video about 2-3 days ago. And it's like all of a sudden, like people are catching it. But my question is, I've been away, and is the mainstream media picking up on it?
As of right now, no. And it's very, very unfortunate. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at a tweet, I believe, from DMS. I'll look back in a second, about mainstream organizations that have not picked it up. But sometimes momentum has to build, and that's what's happening now. You can't deny the taxpayer money that's been lost at the hands of Governor Dum Dum, who was number 2 on the Dum Dum ticket with Kamala. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to your telephone calls in just a moment. If we rewind a year and a half, who would have ever thought that Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman would be the one to be the voice of reason? Who would have ever thought, I guess we saw it coming, that the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, following, I guess, or standing on the shoulders of Bernie Sanders, who's expected in town in a little more than 48 hours for the public swearing in of Mamdani, Oh, that's another story. And we'll deal with that next hour when I'm in for my colleague James Golden. In terms of the first endorsement he made was to an anti-Semitic woman who was running for state assembly. And her latest slap in the face to all of us is that she doesn't believe in the holidays that we have, Thanksgiving, July 4th, and so on. And so the question that I have for her, the Ilhan Omars of the world, if things are so bad in America, why are you here, phony? Why didn't you stay in Somalia? Why don't you go back to Somalia? Notice Ilhan Omar, she said she can live anywhere. She didn't say I'm going home to Somalia. She knows what her country is. She knows her country is exactly the way that President Trump describes it. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. But to all of these Somalians that are coming here, and now claiming they're all on welfare, claiming racism, and robbing us blind. I mean, I'm not going to call an entire group of people pirates, but if the shoe fits, that's all I'm saying. So before we get back to your telephone calls, and we have plenty of time to chat with each other, I want you to listen to Fetterman sitting down with CNN. This guy makes a lot of common sense.
Never going to change my party, but clearly we've lost the argument, and right now I think it's entirely appropriate to really be honest and just figure out why exactly have we effectively lost 2 out of the last 3 cycles, and a lot of the things we've really kind of really lost our connection with American voters in ways. And I think we can't just be, well, Trump is always wrong, or that we're going to set the country on fire or whatever. That's just not true either, of course. But, when I represent a state like Pennsylvania, that keeps you honest. And you always can't forget that a lot of Americans happen to disagree with you. That does not mean that they are fascists or now they want to shred the Constitution.
But when you hear some Democrats saying Trump is acting like an autocrat.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. If you actually compare him to an actual autocrat, that is not just that. Now, last night, for example, people were complaining. They were protesting about, that's the Hitler thing. You just don't ever compare anyone to Hitler and those kinds of extreme things. And now look what happened to Charlie Kirk. I mean, the man was shot. Now we have to turn the temperature down. It's like we can't compare people to these kinds of figures in history. And this is not an autocrat. This is a product of a democratic election.
So you don't think that Trump is at all shattering any of the norms of democracy in any way?
I'm saying he's definitely different, but that's what America voted for. Again, I don't agree with many of these things, but that does not make him an autocrat.
But one of the things that I hear from Democrats a lot saying a reason why voters may not like Democrats is because they don't fight hard enough. Democrats should be fighting harder. What do you say to folks who say that?
What exactly is fighting? What is fighting? Delay more votes, or just vote every no on everything, or saying, well, if they're doing X, well, then that means it's wrong, that kind of a thing. It's like, what exactly is fighting?
I'll give you an example. It could be shutting the government down. Like some Democrats say, if this happens, it'll be Trump's fault.
That's not fighting. That's mutilating our nation. If you vote to shut our government down, you are going to harm millions of Americans. And why would you do this? Where's our leverage? It was wrong. It was wrong for the Republicans to do that. Absolutely, that's true. It was wrong for the Republicans to do that. It would just be wrong for us for those things.
And so John Fetterman, the senator, one of the senators from Pennsylvania, making a lot of sense. And remember, the government shutdown issue was always right around the corner. It's not too far off the possibility. And for Democrats, they don't have anything else going for themselves except for to be the party of no. It makes absolutely no sense at all. Let's go to Rob, line 2, Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Rob?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Well, lawyers say that you could indict a ham sandwich and let Letitia James got it off And so these people in Minnesota committing the fraud, I don't want to hear about them getting off. I don't know how they're going to do it, if they can get a fair jury. But these people have to be held fully accountable to the fullest extent of the law. And that's one thing about the Trump DOJ. I don't know if it's their fault, whose fault, but we need to have a lot of these people held fully.
Rob, slow down for a second. You always get yourself worked up. Slow down for a second. It's one thing for me and you to obviously see the fraud. It's something completely different for federal prosecutors that's got to be able to prove it. Now, I'm not saying that they can't do it, but it's not guaranteed. You can't just say A plus B equals C. They've got to walk into a federal court of law with very good defense attorneys and make their case. So it's just not as simple as you may think it is. Go ahead.
Okay, that is true, but I will say this much. The jury, the pool, it's very important to get in Trump, he couldn't get a fair jury in Manhattan. And these fraudsters in Minnesota, could we get a fair jury out there? It's a very important concept of justice should be for everybody.
It depends. Wait a minute. It depends on how you define fair. Seriously. You can't just toss out terms like that. Every side has X amount of exemptions. You can't just keep going until you get the jury that you want. Generally, they have 3 or 5 exemptions, and once that's over, that's it. So you can't just say a fair jury. I mean, the system doesn't work like that. Yeah, I know you're aware of the fact that some of these lawyers, defense lawyers, they pay people hundreds of thousands of dollars just to come up with the perfect jury and to tell them when to use their limited exemptions. So, if it were up to me, and thank you for the call, if it were up to me, you've gone on long enough. If it were up to me, they would all be convicted. But it's easy to say convict them. Federal prosecutors got to go into court and prove their case. David in the Bronx, line 4. What's on your mind, David?
Seriously, you can't just
Okay, you're listening on delay, so you just missed your opportunity, David. Let's go to Mary in Queens. Mary, what's on your mind? Mary.
Yeah. Hi,
yes, go right ahead,
Dominic.
Mary.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Dominic, listen, I call what's going on in Minnesota, up in Maine. Check out the Maine Wire. They're exposing the same corruption. It's domestic economic terrorism, hardworking taxpayer.
So wait, Mary, I know you're not in Maine, but explain this to me.
No, I'm not in Maine.
I know you're not in Maine, but you just referenced Maine. So explain this to me.
Last night, the Maine Wire is exposing the same.
But listen, I'm asking you your opinion if you let me ask the question. How are Somalians elected in Maine? I don't understand. I don't know that many Somalian residents that live in the state of Maine. I just don't get it, Mary. I'm just throwing it out there. How are they elected in Maine? I just don't get it.
Apparently that's in there with Janet Mills, and basically the same thing is going on in Maine. But it's the weaponization of taxpayer funding for education and healthcare. I call it domestic economic terrorism. It's driving our country into severe debt, and yet we're funding, through hardworking taxpayer dollars to, outward. And really, it's crushing our economy through the fraud.
It is
correct.
You're correct.
Brutal.
You're correct, and it's brutal.
Yeah,
and I mean, Mary, this sounds awful, but what I'm about to say. But if the people stealing the money, if it's going to be done, and it should never be done, but at least let them be American. I mean, Americans, we got screwed with the migrants from over the southern border. We Americans are screwed every way you look at this. And so at what point do Americans win? And that's why, Mary, I have enormous support and love for President Trump, because he says America first, and he's right. And I believe, Mary, I'm going to give you your final say, that he's going to clean up this mess. The first step is you got to put a spotlight on it. You got to figure out what's going on And then 2, you got to freeze the money. And then 3, hopefully this will take care of walls with the election. So you got to get rid of the bad blood. I think Ilhan Omar is done, but we'll see politically. But we'll see what happens. Mary, the final word before I move on.
My last word is Minnesota and Maine, in my opinion, Dominic. They're the warm-up for the platinum level that we're going to see out in California. And just take a look at those finances and the professional level, platinum level that's going out there. That's what's crushing our country. I totally see it from its economic domestic terrorism. It's what I'm calling it, because it's crushing the infrastructure of this country. And it's well orchestrated. It's not just one demographic. This is very well thought out. And, people have to start saying no. And I appreciate all you do at the station to give a voice to people. But check out what's going on in Maine. Maine Wire is starting to really step up. They too have been threatened, but it's a laundry cycle, but it's an international laundry cycle attacking the infrastructure of our country. And as one of your prior callers said, the good faith of Americans to help. Right. And I feel like it's been hijacked and it's weaponized against us.
Absolutely, and Mary. Thank you for the wonderful call. And, folks, what I'm about to say is somewhat controversial, but it's how I feel, right? Legally, the members of the Somalian community may have been able to do this in terms of qualifying for these types of programs, right? But they're not even American citizens. And they're able to qualify to get Medicaid dollars, to get federal dollars. And, folks, we all know what time it is. Vote Democrat, we look the other way. Give us your block vote, and we got you. You can all become millionaires. Anything to win an election, the Democrat way. Lisa in New Jersey, line 2, what's on your mind?
I'll see you on January 17th.
This is Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm well. I can't wait until January 17th to see you, John, you folks in Hoboken, Mary. You did it up the last time I was there. All of those people that showed up and was there for hours, and I'm looking forward to it again.
It's going to be big. But in the meantime, I want to wish you and everyone Happy New Year. But I want to give kudos to John Fetterman. When you take the oath of office, you represent we the people, and he is representing we the people, not the ego of the Democrat Party.
Agreed.
That's all I have to say. Like I said, I want to give the guy kudos.
Well, and fair enough. Hey, Lisa, you already know that I think you are an absolute rock star, correct?
Correct. Vice versa, babe.
I look forward to seeing you. You're doing amazing things to help the community in Nutley, New Jersey. And we're going to have a wonderful time. January 17th, a Saturday at noon, correct? Or is it 12:30?
At noon. Now, we're filing up the flyer tonight. I will send it to you. And then if anybody needs any information, they could just get it either from you or off any of your social media pages.
Wonderful. And as soon as you give it to me, I will have it up and running. Lisa, so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in Nutley. January 17th, which is right around the corner, only about, 2.5 weeks away. But, what I'm focused on, folks, is, as a journalist, as a talk show host, I've got to get past Mamdani, who will be sworn in very, very soon. I cannot believe that this con got away with this and will take the oath of office as the mayor of New York City. He hates cops, he hates Israel, and he's the mayor of New York City. And a little more than 48 hours. There's nothing anyone can do about it. I told you folks before, the moment he won that primary in the election, it's a wrap. He's going to be the mayor, period. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
Dominic Carter.
Now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. Folks, let's be honest. We all know this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of Minnesota. Wait until they get to some of the bigger Democrat states, California, New York. We'll see what happens then with the fraud. I just can't believe it was happening at this level, in Minnesota. And what does it say about Kamala? It says what we all know, that she's completely incompetent. She picked this guy to be her running mate. Oh, I'm a Josh Shapiro. Kamala, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down, please. Let's go to Ray, Putnam County, line 1. Ray, what's on your mind?
Good afternoon, Dominic. Merry Christmas. So my
Same to
take
you and
on
your
this
family.
is, same to you. My take on this is, you know, I hope they can seize all her bank accounts and her kids' bank accounts.
You're referring to Ilhan Omar?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
And until this is all straightened out. This way, nobody leaves the country. Everybody's held accountable.
Well,
And
hey, I love the idea.
of-
Wait. I love the idea, Ray. How do you just seize a congresswoman's passport? I wish it could be done. But see, folks, I'm going to say this, Ray. This is not Hollywood. She's going to come in with the best lawyers that money can buy. How do you just seize her passport?
Well, that's why I'm talking to you, because you got a big listener. You know, everybody's listening.
So here's how you do it. President Trump is always playing chess, Ray. So you make the case. You get her indicted. And then the first day in court, the U.S. attorney for the Southern District or whatever jurisdiction is handling it stands up before a federal judge in a very articulate way and say, Your Honor, we would like the government to seize her passport. She has the means to flee the country and go back to Somalia, or as she said in this clip, anywhere else in the world. And then boom, got her. And then a federal judge takes her passport. Go ahead, Ray.
Exactly, and that's the reason why I call into you, because I know everybody's listening to your show, and I'm praying that this is exactly what happens. That's why I call into you.
I'm going to say this, Ray. If she thinks that she's going to say the things that she said to President Trump and behave in the manner of which she had, something is coming her way. Sometimes it takes time to build a case and to make a case, but it is coming. Let's go to Bill, line 2 in Westchester. Bill, what's on your mind?
Dominic, can you hear me? Because I got a bad connection.
I hear you. Go right ahead, please.
Dom, this is going on all over the country. It's happening in your own backyard. You live in Rockland County. The Hasidics are milking the Medicare system.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know with your anti-Semitism? How do you know?
Block vote.
How do you know? What proof do you have?
My wife is a nurse practitioner.
And that's proof. And that's proof. Come on, Bill. You're better than that. Come on, Bill. You are better than that. We're not. Okay, I'm not going to say we're. I'm not down with the anti-Semitism. Don't broad brush like that. Unless you've got cold, hard evidence, don't do that, Bill. It's really unbecoming. Thank you for the call. Let's see here. We only have 40 seconds left. Let's go to Eduardo, Tampa, Florida. What's on your mind, young man? Line 5.
Yeah, thank you, Dominic. Well, it happened here in Florida. Cheryl McCormick here, a congresswoman from Florida, diverted funds from a family healthcare business.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard about her. Yes, the African-American woman, right?
Yep.
All right, and she played the race. She played the race card too. Not me. Not me. Hey,
Bingo.
Eduardo, I apologize. I'm short on time, but I am on for the next hour, so if you want to call back, I have forgot all about that. The daycare scam. It's been going on for a while, folks, here in America with our people as well. I am coming right back, and America's heroes need your help. Tunnel to Towers Foundation, T2.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the pain points of wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.